Are you still with me? I'm in a different car, guys. Why? You'll probably hear that more than me now. Why? Because I was leaving my friend's glamping site, which is, you know, really for 4x4s, the track, and not for a small, tiny car, which can kind of do a 4x4, but it's just so tiny in the chassis, under the chassis. So I ended up knocking something in my car with the bloody slate. Anyway, so it's at the garage, guys. So I'm using their car. So I just thought it'd be something different. And guys, oh my fucking god, guys. Literally yesterday, it felt demonic. It felt demonic yesterday. It really, really did. I don't know whether Pluto was in play, but apparently we're coming to the end. I think we're right at the very end of the Kali Yuga cycle kind of thing. So that means in the nth degrees of, as well as the nth degrees of Cancer. So people feeling super emotional. And I was working yesterday. I really didn't need it. It was last minute. They don't pay well enough, honestly. I got the timings wrong and I got there way too early. Oh god, guys, and I could see why nobody wanted to do it, because there were so many roadblocks in Somerset. So many. Even the M5 was cut off, and the roads off the M5, so I had to get back, you know. It's like, oh my fucking god, guys, it literally pushed me over the edge. And on the way back I got into so many roadblocks. Oh my goodness. And it was intense, guys. It was so intense, and I had to tell them today, and it was really unfortunate. I've heard two kind of stories today of, I mean, two totally different ones, but yesterday I heard a story about a tiny baby, 6 weeks old, has 4S stage cancer, liver cancer, and is literally on chemo. It's a Great Ormond Street. I mean, god, guys, and I just, what a mess. What a fucking mess they've created. And it just makes me so angry. It really does, guys. It really does. And humanity makes me angry, you know. And I was just watching a reel about this guy. I can't remember what he calls himself, actually. And he was just telling a story of a poor young 2-year-old boy that was basically brutally beaten by his grandparents to the point of death. His mother was upstairs on her phone scrolling. And then you've got all the fucking weirdos, lefty loonies, parading about what's going on in other countries. In all the other countries, let's just bypass our own lives and how wrong we're going, as well as every fucking thing that's going wrong in this country. Woke up to, I rarely see RB's reels on IG anymore, because I'm just following so many people. Every time I see a good, you know, I want to follow people that got good messages, honestly. And he was sharing a guy talking in the House of Parliament that apparently the UK are going back into pandemic preparedness, and they're going to be practicing. So we're going to be having another, I mean, Guy, I really don't think it's only going to be in the UK, honestly, Guy. maybe starting here, everything does, okay? Everything starts here. So, you know, and humanity just, that is why it's my Gemini. That is why it's my Gemini. Your Gemini, wherever your Gemini is where you play, you know, you've got opposing twins, you know, and the twins, the Gemini twins are like Cain and Abel, you know, they are at war with each other, okay? And so you will have conflicting views, conflicting opinions, conflicting ways of being, you know, because on the one hand, I love humanity. I love everything I've ever done has been for humanity. Everything I've ever done, I've done for the sake of the uplevelment of humanity for 30 years, ever since I moved to London. And all the work I've ever done is to improve humanity's consciousness. But then on the other hand, people just royally get on my fucking nerves because they are at war inside their very bodies and they're projecting it onto the outside world, and they think it's got, on some levels, got something to do with them. No. We will find peace in our world, peace on the earth, when every single human, or at least 80% of them, are at peace in their bodies, okay? We've only just hit 20%. So if you're still putting God knows what into your body and thinking it's cool on some level, just seen Andrew Tate trying to put me down. Oh, this guy should have chosen a 21-year-old instead of a 50-year-old. Fuck you, guy. I'll tell you the one which I was hoping would come up as a reel, the one thing that I'm still meaning to do those reels that came out in the couple of videos that I didn't end up posting. Can't remember why now. I think they were just literally too raw. Is that Andrew Tate had a black eye, and I noticed, didn't I? Nobody. So I'm pretty sure it's only the deletes that are watching me. Okay, pretty sure we've worked that one out by now. And a couple of commenters. He had a black eye and not one person asked him about it. Now either he's just joined the club, wouldn't surprise me, what a fucking shill already. Massive distraction. Yes, let's just put a guy that just all he cares about is the money, honey. You know, on front page news all the time, just to make sure that everyone gets addicted to the digits, particularly the youths. So not one person has asked what happened to his eye, and I'm hoping that his brother gave him a fucking punch in the face, because that is a long time coming, I can tell thee. Anyway, we won't go there. I don't need to be on that guy's radar, I can tell you for right now. Anyway, guys, so over the next couple of days, until we're in the nth degrees, and we shift out on the 22nd, okay, and so it's running alongside, out of the Kali Yuga, it's running alongside the end degrees of Cancer. So people are going to be losing it if they aren't already, okay. One astrologer I watched was just asking, why is everything so hard? And it is. I really wanted to come up on here today to actually talk a little bit again about what I really mean. Okay, the two things really. One, I didn't quite express what I meant by when a narcissist or anybody is screaming in your face. You know, we've always said that they are a mirror of you. And on the one hand, they are a mirror of you because what they're showing you is how much you hate yourself and how much you simply are not, no power in this goddamn car. You simply are not looking after yourself. That's what they're showing you. Okay, that is what they're showing you. But the other thing that they're showing you, because the likelihood is if you're like me, okay, it took me a long time to even learn it. I was all about giving to the other person and thinking on some level that was healthy for me. No. Okay, really, really wasn't. And I needed to learn that. I really did. It took a lot of bullshit to really come to understand that I'm worth more and this isn't me. Because what actually ends up happening, and it was happening and it did happen, is that I had to realise that I was being shown my own reactivity. So that's what they're showing you. How reactive are you? Your reactivity is your reactivity. Okay. You can't bypass that onto anyone else. Right? If it's coming out of your mouth, if it's coming out of your energy levels, okay? It's coming out in anger, tears, frustration, sadness, depression, inflammation, okay? It's yours, right? Especially if you hold it in the body, okay? I don't care whether you've picked it up off somebody else. You're the one holding it now. So even for healers, the healing bypassers, they say, oh, I'm carrying your stuff. No, you're squeezing in your problem areas because you've got a client in front of you that is stressed. And because you are not yet healed, okay, and most healers, let me just tell you guys, I wouldn't go to them. I just take one look at them and I can see that they're not healed. I don't need somebody who is fully healed, but I do need somebody to show me that they've got a certain level of understanding of the healing process. So they need to have come a very long way with it. And so, so whether you are, squeezing because you've got somebody opposite you, that might be a client, might be your child, it might be your partner, it might be your parent, okay? It might even be a policeman or a priest. If you're squeezing, you're squeezing. You're the one that needs to become light. You're the one that needs to soften and open, okay? And when you soften and open, you will be able to be soft around those people, okay? The people it's most difficult to be soft around are the people that you're locked into, for decades upon decades, okay? It's once you've actually set up, that's why I say it's so much easier just to have a break in the beginning. It's just so easy. You haven't even been together that long. So, it's not like removing a body part, which is what it will be like in a couple of decades' time. And then the likelihood that you'll get back together then is highly unlikely. It's highly unlikely. Because people, like I said, they're too thick and all they want is instant oral gratification. They just want to be told that they're okay and that everything's okay and everything's going to be okay because they can't work it out for themselves because they've got no self-esteem. And the other one was this thing about the sound and what I actually mean by sound, okay, and animals and children, babies in particular, understanding not just, but yeah, babies they will literally squeeze, okay, and then they will just express through sound how they're feeling around your energy, okay, because that's all they can feel. But children as well, and up until a good age, I mean, the whole time you have children, they're showing you yourself. They are basically saying, this is how you feel. I have become how you feel. And you've projected it onto me. So you think it's how I feel. You think it's my fault. You think it's how you feel about me. Poor kids are the ones getting blamed. I feel so sorry for kids. I feel so sorry for kids. I mean, obviously this poor little 2-year-old is a prime example of a baby that was holding its head up, possibly, maybe. Just didn't feel safe in the energy of these fucking idiots that can't stop breeding. They literally, the disgusting energy is just oozing, their toxicity is just oozing out of every fucking pore and every fucking orifice on their body. Okay. But this is what I mean, and this is what the difference is. It's like, if I were having this kind of a rant, even, in front of some Dartmoor ponies, okay, they wouldn't be scared, because my energy is one of honesty, truth, purity, acknowledgement, discernment, observation, witness, noticer, okay? And even to the point of, if somebody's just absolutely purging how someone's fucked up trauma has fucked them up, they might actually be screaming. Ah! The ponies, okay, the horses, the chimpanzees, the giraffe or whatever country you happen to be in, the animals that you happen to be around, the dogs, the cats, are likely going to come closer. They trust you. They know that the sound that you're making is true. It's honest. It's real. It's made as a purge, okay, to let in more love. You're releasing the shadow. You're releasing what's held, what's stuck, okay? But you can't always do that authentically, okay? You really, really can't. Often it's just done in a fake way, because people have heard that you're supposed to purge through sound. So they try it rather than being their ultimate truth of, I'm so open now, I can't hold this back any longer. But not even to that extent, okay? Yes, they're going to run a million miles from somebody who's just screaming, okay? Because they aren't actually purging and they don't really know how to be authentic, okay? They're just faking it even to the point where they're trying to let go. They're still faking and still holding on, and they're still creating damage around their heart and their brain and all the other ligaments in their body, okay? But you can also remain very calm, okay, very cute and quirky, especially with a baby, okay, and be lying your fucking ass off, and they can feel your energy. And this is what we mean by, it doesn't give, the universe doesn't give two fucking hoots what your manifesting, okay? What you're faking to making, okay? So that you can create. It can only perceive your frequency, okay? Your energy. And so a baby, you know, somebody's not going to understand when, you know, a baby, like, could be a parent, a grandparent, an aunt, or, you know, something like that, comes up to your baby, oh, oh, he's so cute, you know, doing this, and the baby starts crying, you know. Same with animals. Could be going, come on, hello, darling, you know. But because your energy is so off, it's so angry, it's so depressed, it's so uncentered, it's so toxic, it's so damaged, okay, that animal's going to run a million miles away. It doesn't trust you, even from a million miles, even though the words that you're saying sound very calm, very relaxed, and very as if you're in tune on some level. No, you simply aren't, okay? So you can be angry, okay, and you can be real, and it isn't even a threat to somebody who understands and understands the nature of energy. But you can